20-pound propane tanks, and now these will both be full. And you actually have an auto regulator over here too. And what this will do, once we open these tanks, you got this line, this arrow here. We're gonna be drawing from this tank here. And if middle of the night, if you start to run out of propane, and let's say your furnace is running in the middle of the night, you run out of propane, this auto regulator will automatically switch over to this tank. Now if you want to put it down in the middle, it's going to draw from both, or I could switch it over to the other tank. But what I recommend doing is leaving on one side. That way this little spot in there, that'll show red once you're empty. So we like to leave it open to one side, and that way you should be good to go there. Next you have your battery in here. Now this is a 12-volt deep cycle RV marine battery. This is maintenance free. Now come winter time, if you're going to put this in storage for an extended amount of time, I do recommend taking it out and maybe putting it in your basement or something at the house. But it is a brand new battery, all charged up, and this will run everything 12 volt inside. So that's going to be your slide outs, all your lights, your radio, everything 12 volt, which we'll go through a little bit more in depth inside. Let's see here. Coming around, you do have an auto leveling system on this. There you have your auto level. You put it on, you press the power button there, it shows it's ready. Right now you can see where right and rear are blinking. What that's going to mean is we're a little bit low on the right side and we're a little bit low on the rear end. So that's just kind of a good indication of that we are a little bit unlevel. In order to level it, you press auto level right there. In order to, once we're auto leveled, you can hit that retract button, and that'll actually bring us back up. You got some arrow selectors over here. You can go into manual mode. You can auto hitch height to where, let's say you want to set the hitch height to where it remembers where it is for your vehicle. That's an option to where your front tongue jack will automatically go up and down for that. Let's see. Coming around over here, you're going to have your water system. So this is where you're going to hook up. You got your fresh water connection. So this will be, you'll have your portable water tank. So that's where you'll fill that at. You have a hole there. Water starts spitting out of that hole there in case it starts to overfill. And this here is where you hook up for your city water connection. This will be where, for that, you're at a campsite, you have full water hookup, you'll be hooked up right to there. And then some campsites offer cable TV and satellite. This is where you'll hook up to that, to where you have the input here, and then next to all your TV locations, you'll have an output. We're gonna come down here and I'm gonna go over a little bit more of your leveling system. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. So as we walk down a little bit further, you're gonna notice we have your slide out. Maintenance as far as the slide out system goes, you do want to keep the top of the slide out clean of any kind of debris. If you're at a campsite and you have acorns, walnuts, small limbs or anything like that that falls on top of that slide out, when you go to run that slide out in, you want to always try to brush the top of that off with the broom, just so you don't get those that small debris chewing up the seals on top of your slide when it's trying to run that room back in. As far as the seals go that cover the slide out, what you can do there, you can lubricate those with a clear silicone. What that'll do, that'll help prevent the sun from drying out those seals. And the clear silicone's nice because it's a clean spray, unlike a WD-40 where a little stickier and leaves a little bit more residue. Clear silicone is what we use here, and it's a nice lubricant for something like that. Coming down around here, you have your 30 amp power cord. So this is where you'll have your twist-in cord, and it actually detaches and you can store it into your front compartment up in the front. So you have your 30 amp power cord there, and that will, that'll charge your battery, and that'll run everything 110 inside the unit. So everything that's going to run off of 110 is your refrigerator on electric. Your air conditioners are going to run off of 110. Your what else do we have? Your water heater is going to run off of 110. And then any kind of outlet that you're going to have inside to power either your TV or to plug your phones in, that's going to all be 110. So you have to be plugged into this cord here, hooked up to a 30 amp outlet in order to run everything inside that runs off the 110. Here you have a quick connect hose fitting, and what that is, so you'll have a water outlet there, and we'll walk over to here and I'll show you. It hooks up to this hose. So you have a little quick connect fitting there, a spray nozzle on the end, so that'll hook up right back here to, that'll work as your outdoor shower. And you do have a light there, which is nice. We're gonna keep walking around. Back in here's where you have your sewer hose. Keep that stored in the bumper. As far as maintenance of the roof goes, you do want to get up there periodically. I recommend around every season maybe. If it's springtime before you get out camping, or if it's, you know, coming into wintertime before you store it away, you want to get up on that roof and check the seals. If you've had a camper before, you know, but if not, you have a die-core leveling lap sealant that you install up there. And what ends up happening is that sun will dry those seals out. So again, periodically you want to get up there, check for little cracks in the sealant to prevent any water leakage in the future. Back here you have the exhaust for your furnace. And this does get hot to the touch. So just keep in mind if you have any young ones around, once the furnace is running, this will get hot. And then back here you have some screws to get to the access to the furnace. Really nothing back there for you. That's more for us in service if we need to service anything on the furnace for you. Coming around to the side, we have your 6-gallon water heater. You got the you got your board here. This is where it ignites on propane right here, and it is they call it DSI, direct spark ignition. And what that is, you just have a switch on the inside and that lights on propane, so you don't have to come out here with a pilot light or anything. It's all automatically done from inside. And here you have your drain plug. So that's the drain plug for the water heater. That takes a 15/16 of an inch socket. Get an extension on the end of your socket that'll make it a little bit easier to take that in and out. And I do recommend draining your water heater when you're not using it. Continuing on over here, you have some storage. When you go to close these doors, make sure you push in. That'll help compress the seal. Same thing over here when you go to lock it. You have your CH751 key and your set of keys there. Push these doors in and that'll help lock those a little bit easier for you. Coming along over to here, you have your black tank flush. As you notice, there's a caution here because what they're trying to tell you is make sure when you hook the hose up to here to leave your black tank valves open. Reason being is if you go to hook up this, it's going to go to your toilet tank. And if you don't have that gate valve open to flush and clean out that toilet tank, it's going to build pressure and it'll come out the top of the toilet. So you definitely want to make sure you have your black tank valve open when you're flushing out your toilet tank. That's a big one there. As we're talking about the toilet tank and all that, we'll walk over to here and I'll show you where the gate valves and that are for your black tank and your gray tank. So you notice we have them all labeled here, black, gray, and gray. The gray tank's going to be for your shower and your sink waste, and the black tank there is going to be for your toilet waste. You always want to dump the black tank first and then followed by the gray tank. So what that does, that helps flush and clean out your sewer hose and make it a little bit cleaner of a job for you. Before you ever use the toilet, you always want to have at least a third full of the toilet tank full of water and chemical, and that'll help break down all the toilet paper and all the toilet waste that's inside there. Over here you have your low point drains. What those are, you just have water lines going throughout the camper. You can open those lines up if it's about time to put it in storage for a little bit. And what that does is that just, you open these up and that'll drain whatever water's is inside. So if you see some water's coming down, you got your hot and your cold line. To where you don't have water hanging out there for a couple months and getting all stagnant and stinking your lines up. I recommend, again, doing that anytime you put it away for storage. And we use these when it's time to winterize. when it is time to winterize, I don't know if you've had campers before. If you have, it's pretty much like any other camper. You got the, you get to the back of your water heater and you go to the bypass lines and you turn those, and then you go to your water pump inside, and we switch the valves around to where you pump antifreeze throughout the lines via your water pump. I'll talk to you a little bit more about that in person when I see you here in a little bit, and I will give you my card to where if you plan on winterizing it yourself, you can always give me a call and I can kind of walk you through that come October or November. Continuing on your on the door side here, you do have outlets. So if you wanted to plug in a TV, you have the hookups here for that, or anything else that you want to plug in outside. If it's some awning lights, whatever you choose, you do have the option to hook up some power out over there. You have your speakers. This here is the vent for your stovetop. So you'll have an exhaust vent inside. You can open that up, and that'll help bring out any smoke or anything from cooking inside. This here above the outlets is a mount for a TV. This grill covers the back of your refrigerator. Really, there's nothing for you to do back here. Everything lights from inside. All the buttons for your fridge are inside. Really, the biggest thing about this is just to kind of keep it clean. You don't want to let a bunch of sticks and, dirt and all that build up in here, because it can dirty up the boards or something, or the connections here. I do recommend just kind of keeping this area clean. But as far as working back here, you shouldn't have to do too much. Again, everything's done from the inside when it comes to the refrigerator. Here's the other side to your leveling system, your leveling jack. If you pop this tab off here, this is where you can have the manual crank for that. Looking at there, you got a square nut, so that'll be your manual override for that jack there. It'll be the same over there on the back, except on the back over here, it'll be on the top of the jack. A little bit different style. Actually, I'm sorry, right there on the bottom. Right there on the rear jacks, you have the manual override if you ever need to try to crank those electric jacks up yourself. God forbid they're not working. All right, we're gonna go on inside now. Okay, so now we're on the inside of your new camper. We got it all opened up here for you. What I'm gonna show you first is your main panel up here. What this is gonna do, this will show you where you can run all your lights, run your slides, everything in and out from right here, your awning. You click over here to water heater. This is where you can either have your water heater on electric or propane or both. And then this is where also you'll read your battery levels. You'll read your battery level there, your fresh, your black, your gray, and your gray. It shows you all your tank levels. You have your radio, you got your TV here. Storage. We'll walk over here to your refrigerator. You have the power button for your Norcold fridge there. And it is an automatic refrigerator, to where it'll automatically sense the temperature and all that. All you got to do is press that power button on. And the fridge is nice and cold now, so we'll leave that running. Coming around, your microwave, that's all pretty standard. Your stovetop. You just turn the knob to match the stovetop, and then you got your sparker here. Your oven's gonna light manually. You have a pilot there, you push in and hold on that, and then down there you have a coupler in the back. And you'll actually light that with an extended lighter, like more like a campfire lighter. And that's what you'll do. You push and hold this in, and then you light it back there, and that should kick on for you. You got some more storage. Down here you have your breaker box. So you have all your distribution panel just like you would at your house. and they are labeled here for you. So you have your breakers there, and you have your fuses here. Your fuses will power more things 12 volt inside. If you ever have any issues, this is as far as anything working. Let's say your fridge isn't working or your furnace isn't lighting. This is usually a good place to come check first. You want to check the fuses and you want to check your breakers. If you do have issues though, obviously give us a call first and we'll try to walk you through anything we can over the phone. Coming around, you know, the bathroom's all pretty self-explanatory. You do have a GFI protected outlet here, so if you ever need to reset that, that's GFI protected. Or if you had your a hair dryer or something of that sort that falls into the water, it'll trip that and protect you there for that outlet. We're going to come around here and I'll go over the air conditioning system. Here's your Dometic air conditioner. So this will run on your Dometic AC and your furnace. They both run off of this thermostat here. You got your remote and power button. So right there, you press it once and it's going to go to your air conditioner. You press it again, it's going to go to furnace. Then you press it a third time and it's going to go off. You have your arrows here for your temperature gauge. And it is thermostatically controlled to where, let's say I want to set the air conditioning in here at 68. Once the room reaches 68 degrees, it'll actually shut off. So it kind of works just like your house, and vice versa with the furnace. If you want to set it up to around 72, 74, once it reaches temperature, your furnace will shut off and cycle. Down here you have your propane gas detector. This light will stay on when you're plugged in and when it's running off the battery. So if you see that light, just know it's in good working condition. You have an outlet down here. Your dinette will make into a bed. All you have to do is take those two support poles out. You take the tabletop off, and it rests on these ledges here. And then you fold the cushions down like a jigsaw puzzle, and they just fold on top of each other for the toilet. To continue on with the air conditioner, you do have a filter here. This is your cold air intake. So this grill is going to where the air comes in, circulates inside the air conditioner and the condenser coils, and it's going to push back out here. This is the vent that's going to come out. You can either leave that vent open, and I recommend leaving the vent open when you first kick the air conditioner on, because that'll allow the AC to dump the cold air out the quickest. Once it starts to get down to temperature in your unit, you can close that vent off, and then more of the air conditioner will come through these directional vents for your centrally ducted air conditioning system. And then it'll also come into the vents in the bedroom and in the back bathroom. As far as everything in the bedroom goes, it's all pretty self-explanatory. You have your lights here. You have a crank up there for your ceiling vent. You have your emergency exit window. For this, all you do is you pop that lever up, you fold it, and you push it out. And you can also leave it latched there if you want to open the window and get some fresh air. Down here you have a receptacle, another light. You also have some 12 volt USB ports there. So if you wanted to charge your cell phone, you can do that there. Right above me in the bedroom you have your TV antenna. So this is the you can turn this around to where if you want to try to get better reception, but that's going to pick up all the local air channels. So if you wanted to have your TV powered up, you could run some of your local air channels. That'll pick them up from that TV antenna there. And under here you have your, continuing on the inside, you have here, you have your carbon monoxide detector and you have a smoke detector. Both of those have batteries in them. They should be good and working. To continue on, you know, you have a lot of great storage in here. You know, all this is pretty self-explanatory though. You got your light switch up there. That couch will fold out into the bed. Just walking around trying to see if there's anything else I think we're missing. And in the future, if you do have questions, again, don't hesitate to reach out to us. That's kind of what we're here for. Another thing in the future, if you would like, we can you can drive up. We can do a walkthrough in person once all this coronavirus craziness ends. I'd be happy to go through it in person with you in the future. Again, we appreciate your business, and if you need anything, just give us a call. Thanks. Bye.